Welcome to this video playing Huba. WGM Huba. Yeah, she's playing really well against me. Beating me once very, very clearly. And then the other game, I don't even know. Did I win this at the end? I think I did, but it was very lucky. Not sure if lucky is the right word, but it wasn't a clear win or anything. Okay, she plays Ruy here with d3 and then taking. Oh, that's rare. Interesting way to play. Okay, I'm going to block this and go for a later f5. I wonder if I should go for f5 with g6 or not. I guess I will do that. Bishop e7, castles, and then knight away f5 was also kind of logical. Not so sure what White's idea is. Okay, so she wants to go for f4. Let's prevent that with knight h5. It's not easy for White to play here with the main pawn break f4 being prevented. Yeah, b4, that's also something you can try. Let's do this. Trying to make it a little bit more difficult at least. Yeah, I wonder if I should, if I can first of all play f5. And also a5 is a move that I could consider playing, even though by queen a4 I have bishop d7. Right, but it will be weakening in the long run. Maybe I still should do that. Make it a bit more difficult with the b4 move. Queen a4, bishop d7 I can play. Queen a5, rook a8, queen is trapped, so queen a4 is not a problem. But White can go bishop d2, stuff like that. Maybe I should just... You cannot take. Yep, so this means that I can play f5 now actually, yeah? With the queen being away from d1. After e takes f, I can take with the g pawn, so I'm happily playing this. Yeah, queen a4 was really not helping White. And this is now interesting. Do I go f4 or not? f4 looks dangerous in King's Indian style. Yeah, I think I'm doing that. My bishop is silly on g7, but everything else is very dangerous. So queen h4, or I can also try to activate the bishop over h4, g3 and so on. It's an interesting question. Knight d5 is of course coming next. I wonder if I should actually just play c6 first, and let's do that. Play c6, prevent any knight d5s. Not sure if I needed to do that. Okay, knight g3 and push the pawns maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, it is pretty fast, this kind of attack. I mean, White's position is not exactly harmonious. So, forward. have to be careful here with not saying something that sounds entirely wrong against a female opponent, like like getting too wide with the pants down or something. Anyway, so Queen H4. Queen H4 is pretty dangerous. I really don't see how White is going to keep this how she's going to not lose here quite quickly. Yeah, so I can take H3 now, but I can do so anyway. Yeah? So I'm going to take, it's probably better. Also opening up that diagonal, that should be worth something. So checking here, not with the king. That was funny. No, this one. So I hope that's going to be the first clear win against her. So now the rook is unprotected, so I can take on H3. She cannot take G3 as the rook is completely hanging. And now Queen H4 should be the end of the game. Yo, threatening to take on G2.
White resigns.
Yeah, I'm satisfied. I think that was a very decent game. Queen. Yeah, I think the whole setup here is kind of. White has to be careful not to drift into a somewhat passive position here. The center is entirely frozen, and the play is completely reduced. For me, it's F5, and maybe C65 if things are really going my way, but mostly F5, and White has possibilities of F4 or B4, one of those two. And yeah, we saw what happened to the F4 idea. I just stopped this with Knight H5. How she tried for B4, and yeah, here that was kind of A5 was a little bit of a bait move to provoke Queen A4, which is really not helping. And I think now it's actually better to go back to D1. It looks awkward, but allowing me to play F5 cannot be right, really. I couldn't play F5 earlier, because if we check this, let's say instead of A5, if I go F5, she takes, I cannot recapture because, whoops, and this G4, I mean, I actually looked at this for a moment because it is weakening here, so it's not like easily discarded. Something like, oops, I'm sorry, something like this might be somewhat interesting, but I really couldn't believe it. So now I can go F5, as after the capture I can easily take with the pawn, and the queen is not looking at the knight anymore. And this is a fantastic position. I go bishop C6 here and G-file, great. Yeah, this, and now, okay, I can take on E4, not bad, or F4, and this, it gets very dangerous very quickly. Not sure about this, was just a precaution. And now just pushing things forward. Yeah, I don't think that White can hold this. Engine is on -4. It's pretty rough.
Check.
Yeah, and this is mate in 5. Okay, that was quite okay, I think. Thanks for watching.